Morning, everybody. How you doing? We are okay. It is Tuesday morning. I feel like shopping on Tuesday morning. I'm gonna give everybody a few minutes if you guys want to gather in. In the meantime, I am going to pick out some colors from these Brunfunners. I love these colors so much. I'm going to put this over here so I can kind of get a good look at my color situation. We have many, many yellows to deal with today. Yellow, yellow. We need a gold. Oh, God. Haven't gotten these out in a little while. I hope everybody's doing good today. What am I looking for? Oh, yeah. I'm going to need her. She's one of my faves. I am loving. Hi, Brandy. Good morning. How are ya? Or good afternoon. I'm sorry. I always think I know everybody's in my own time zone. How are you doing? Hold on a minute. I'm going to get this girl down. Can you hear me better now? See if I can get some sound going here. I felt like doing a little coloring. So, and of course, what's better in the heat of summer, in the most awful time, than snuggling up with a big fat sunflower girl. I love her. How are you doing, honey? Are you good? Oh, just had some scrambled eggs and a ham. That sounds so good. I'm on coffee right now. I probably won't eat breakfast until long-suffering husband comes drifting in, but ham and egg sounds divine. Really. I'm going to have to sharpen, so I'm going to be loud for just a second. It's just going to be that way today. I got to get organized here. I'm so unorganized. I have no idea what's happening with me today. One and two. I know some people are not big fans of. I am good. Boy, I'm thinking about that ham now. I really am. I can't remember the last time. I mean, we have ham like on holidays, but not always, just ham. So I cannot really even remember the last time I had ham and eggs. It's been so weird. It's been so long. What I really want is to get going on that Boston cream pie I made last night. But Boston cream pie is not a breakfast food from what I've heard. And it's probably not the best thing I can do either. You'll have to forgive my shirt. Every black shirt I own is covered in dog hair. There's nothing I can do about it. I have long-haired, big old white dogs, and they hate a black sweater more than anything. They just hate it. Hold on a minute. I'm going to try to get the light down so that I'm not glaring you out. Make it a little softer for you. And I might actually bring this down a little bit. I'm still trying to get sorted. I'm not quite there yet. Every day I think I've got this camera figured out, and then it goes and it does something else, and it drives me crazy. Really, there's just no getting out of it. So, what's going on? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, I never even thought about starting diamond painting. All year last year, I would see people doing these amazing, beautiful images with all the bright colors and everything. And I never even thought that I could do that because I was like, no way, with my two dogs, there'd be dog hair everywhere. It would just be a big, fat, uh, foggy lint trap. That's all it would be. But I learned that, you know, I don't wear black clothes when I'm when I'm diamond painting, and I try to keep them at bay. My desk is really high. It's kind of like a bar stool desk. So when they come up here, their head reaches it, but they can't get their whole head, up on the table. Oh, black and white. Yeah, those are you're forget it. You're screwed. I mean, black and white both. It's like forget it. I would start wearing a lot of that powdery navel gray. Because you can't. I mean, you should see me at Christmas. Oh gosh, anytime Christmas, I mean, last year was pretty boring because we really didn't get to go anywhere with the pandemic and everything. I wonder what this Christmas will be like, Brandy. I wonder if we're going to have an actual holiday, or do you think the numbers are coming back up? Because I've been watching the news, and I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer today because we're trying to escape the news. But the numbers the variance is kind of growing a little bit, and I'm not really sure what they're going to do with it. So I'm kind of wondering, will Christmas be, well, for me, I mean, it's usually, craziness because John and I are Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus. Don't tell the children. Whatever you do, do not tell the children. But yeah, they are. So it's usually a pretty busy season for us. But last year, we just didn't even bother. We really didn't. And this year, I really want to make up for less time and get moving on it. But I'm not really sure what what the temperature of the country or of the world is going to be like. So I really don't know. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I mean, of all horror stories, John comes home the other day and he's like, that couple that we met that one time, and I was like, yeah. I said he was a really sweet old guy. I sold my old Santa costume to him because I have this thing I always take. I would buy like a regular Santa. Now John's upgraded. I made him a costume. Girl, cosplay people would be jealous. They'd just be jealous. It was so good. But I'm gonna pull out my oil pastels because I need color in her. She needs to be like the biggest sunflowers ever. Um. Anyway, both him and his wife both got COVID. Both passed away. Two less Santas on the planet. I'm like, oh my god. I'm not gonna. I mean, I like children. I really do. At least when they're not driving me crazy, I love them. You know. But really, enough already. I mean, it's putting everybody and them at risk. I don't even know what I'm doing here, Brandy. I just felt like coloring today, and I thought this would be so much fun. Now that is a much brighter color. That looks good. This will look a lot better when it's on the Instagram and I have her finished. I can't wait to get her done though. I really can't. You know, just kind of felt like coloring. And I've got it. I'm literally cold right now because I've got the air conditioner freezing for the dogs so that I don't have to worry about them heat stroking on me because they are not at all loving this summer weather, not even one bit. How's your dog doing? Is she dying yet? Is she just like croaking from the heat? Because I swear to God, I feel like, you know, oh, look at that. I love these little puppies. I can just tap and smudge them and they cover so well. And I need her to have like a glow about her, so it just does this shading like you would not believe. This might be the best little $10 I ever spent. And I think the more you play with your art supplies, the better you get at them. I mean, when I was little, yeah, my dogs are inside too, and they hate it. They are driving me batshit. I mean, they are crazy with it. Pardon my language. Anyway, yeah, when I was little, like, I had that girl down the street in my class. She had the big Crayola set, 64 colors, and the pencil sharpener on the box. Remember? Here I was, like a pitiful little art student. I couldn't, I didn't know what I was doing. Let's see, I had 8 Crayola crayons and they were fat. I mean, it was like trying to color with a mop stick. And here was this snotty little princess with her 60-foot colors and her fancy sharpener. And I had like 8. And the other children would be like, hey, do you have we're doing something with we need dark red, we need like mahogany. Do you have mahogany? And so I have red. I have red. That's all I got. I got red. But you could mix it with brown and make mahogany. I mean, having that crummy little coloring set, I think inspired me to, well, what if I want to make tan? Santa's face is tan because we were all doing this coloring thing in our class. And, well, if I tap really lightly with the brown, I mean, really, really lightly, I might get there. So this girl, I remember her. She was so persnickety. Sometimes people do get full of themselves. It's all about the equipment. I mean, now I'm like, don't give me no 8 coloring set. I'll have 83. I'll have 63. I'll have 163. But back then it was so funny. We all had the same Santa picture that we had to color. Okay. You know what I'm talking about. The typical, I'm in 3rd grade Santa picture. And there were kids there that just, not everybody's a born artist, but some people, with me, when it was coloring time, I could just kind of get out of my own head for a little while. And I would sort of go on autopilot almost. Like I just wasn't really in charge, but it was so much fun, and I could really, with my little 8 set, I remember because they had like a little contest, because, what's better with 7-year-old children than to make them competitive and make them feel like they're not quite there yet. So sure, we'll just do a little Santa contest, and everybody got to turn in their Santa at the end, and you had to do the best Santa. This was so funny. And this girl, even though she had everything going for her, she couldn't color a paper bag. I mean, really, like it just didn't happen. So, I got busy, all we could use was our colors, our actual crayons. And I had to make something happen. And I did red and then put dark brown with it to make it a burgundy color. And I must have worked on that Santa coat for a half an hour, which is a long time for a 7-year-old. A half an hour to do anything is a long time for a 7-year-old, right? I mean, really. And then we got to turn in our Santa pictures, but nobody could put their name on them. They had to put their name on the back of the page so that she said it was a secret about who won because she didn't want to have any favorites. And sure enough, I won. I won. Oh. Yep, I did. And she was so mad. Oh man. And I remember winning a sticker. I won it was like a sticker or something, but oh my God. You would have thought I won $1,000. I was crazy about it. Absolutely crazy about it. So I kind of think, sometimes not having the $500 set really can inspire, you know, some actual creativity in you. I mean, honestly, sometimes when I get these big sets, like the Brunfuner, I'm kind of that's my new workhorse. I mean, Prismacolors is like, whoo, because this thing is so good. Okay, how am I doing here? I'm just tapping along. So there I was with my little 8 crayons, and I won, and it was like, I mean, I really thought I won like a car. And it was so funny. So it really just goes to show you that it doesn't really have to do always with the equipment, but your creativity and what you do with it. So that's why I love these little guys. They're only $10, but they have a really pretty pearly kind of finish. And, I love that about them. Okay, got to do some highlights on this hair now. Her hair is going to have to be banging because she's got the best hair in the world. Not too curly, not too straight, not too anything. And I think I'm going to have to do her skin in like an African American tone. She really needs to be African American. So we'll do that. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I've already been on 20 minutes and I have accomplished pretty much nothing. I call it a flower. Yeah. I feel sad for any dog that's not inside right now. I really do. Because, well, where I am living at present moment in Texas, it is so blazing hot. Horrible. Horrible. I gotta get like a mustard color and tone down all this yeller. There's too much yeller in this picture. Yeah, that's better. But I can't sharp. I gotta have a sharp pencil. There we go. There we go. That's lighter. I'm sorry if you're not crazy about the tapping. It's the only way I know how to do hair. Oh, but I learned how to do a lot of hair. When I was doing Wild Souls, woo, yeah. Hair on animals, hair on women, hair everywhere. And you can spend forever doing hair. I try to keep it not crazy, but there we go. But I love it, and hair has so many colors in it. I mean, really, you can spend hours picking through these colors. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's starting to look like something is happening. I'm not sure what. Why do I have this thing going off now? My Alex, who I'm pretty sure is now snooping on everything. Little Nat, go away. I don't know how you got here. Little things, not social distancing, not obeying the rules. We should get up. Oh, God. This is so pretty. Now, I know this looks orange. I can't tell what the colors are called, though, because they're in another language. I just know I like them. And the orange is really almost a yellow, so it really has some beautiful tonality to it. So I just use it on the highlight parts. Don't overthink hair. Let it be not perfect, because the more you try to make it perfect, the less real it looks. Hair is messy, especially her hair. I mean, she's out in the sunflower field. She's got to be a little crusty, a little loose around the edges right now, right? Right. Hold on a minute. I'm just gonna turn this a little bit off here so you can kind of see. And I need a sip of coffee. Mm. God, that toffee coffee is to die for. Toffee coffee. Okay, let me see what's happening. Let's see how far we can go with all of this. I need something like a terracotta-ish. Boy, the electric pencil sharpeners work so good with these. Kids are fat and they're square. I mean, I would break a wrist trying to sharpen all of these puppies up. I really would. But the electric sharpener works beautifully on them. I get a really good tip. Look at the tip I'm getting, and it's so sharp. I got a pencil. I can't color without a good sharp pencil. But yeah, that girl with the Crayolas cracked me up. I mean, and today I'm like, I would never send a kid without a 64 set. I mean, but back in the day, it was probably a really cool thing to have all the color crayons, but I had something even better than the other 7-year-olds in my class. I had a boat. That's right. It's like, woohoo. I had my own boat. I got a boat for my birthday. My father asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I told him I wanted a boat. And he said, okay. Well, back then, we just let our kids, let our kids juggle knives. I mean, we didn't care. But I got a boat, and it was 8 feet long. And he was like, it was your 7th birthday, so I was going to get it for 7 feet, but I wanted to give you a foot to grow on. And I thought, oh my goodness. And it was an actual sunfish sailboat, a little tiny 8-foot sailboat that you could actually ride in, that I rode in. And I called it, yes, since we're coloring this today, which kind of made me think about it. I called her Sunflower because she was bright yellow. And I would take my dog and go out in this boat. And I'm telling you, the tenacity and the fearlessness I had. I mean, who cares? There was where I lived in New York. Oh, hold on a minute. I have to think in color for just a second, and then I'll get back to my story. About my boat, my sunfish, my very first boat. And kids in my class were like, you have a boat? Nuh-uh, you're fibbing. Well, where we lived, we were on a canal. And so I probably told this story before, but I really don't care. I'm just thinking about it today because the girl with the sunflowers has got me feeling nostalgic. And I really, 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 I got to get some shading around her face to make the hair look a little richer. Are we getting a jawline yet, people? Anyway, this boat, oh God. It was so cute. It was bright, bright, bright canary yellow. And it had one tiny, sad little sail on it. And she was my baby. She was my boat. And we lived on a canal, because in New York, if you ever see pictures of that big Hudson River where all of the, big boats would go and everything, we lived not that far away from it. We lived on a canal, but you could get to the Hudson River. You could just go down a couple of canals. Now, I had to have a good day with a little bit of wind because there's a lot of houses in the way in the canal between me and the wind, and sometimes we would stall out. You know, when you stall out on a sailboat, does anybody sail? If you sail, you know what I mean. If you don't, it's sort of like you're trying to clutch into second or third gear and your motor just kicks out. Anyway, is that her eye? I'm getting a little. George, baby George wants to say hello, everybody. Say hello, baby George. Oh, God. What happened? Did a butterfly fart somewhere? I'll be right back. I got to get that big mouth dog in here. Come here, boo boo. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, you gotta go. Come back in here with me. No, 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 no. Go. There you go. There you go. You stay with the mamas. Come on. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, they will bark at the weirdest things. I swear to God. Baby George Biscuit. Yes, he's a tribute name to a firefighter that was lost in 9/11, whose name was George. And he was kind of he was total flirt. Hunk of a guy. And he would always hang outside. He was in my brother's fire station, and he would always hang outside my brother's fire station. And he would have all the girls would come by and walk their dogs by him. And so he figured out a way to, make a cheap come on to the girls that they couldn't refuse. He carried a bag of dog biscuits, little treats in his pocket all the time. And this is how he would hit on chicks, and he always got lucky. I mean, he was a gorgeous guy who liked dogs and carried dog biscuits. Please, it was a guaranteed yes, especially in New York. Anyway, so George always loved, he loved dogs and he loved women, and he would carry dog biscuits. Well, make a long story short, after 9/11, and George was killed. He was one of the first ones in, and he was lost. And after the dust began to settle, like a week or two later, and people could get back into their homes, a lot of them came back and they brought their dogs. And the dogs would stop and look for George because he had the biscuits. So his name was Biscuit. And that's why baby George Biscuit is who he is. Anyway, it's a dumb thing, but I thought it was cute. And I wanted him to have kind of a special little thing because he's kind of a special dog. And what a ladies' man. He really takes after him in every way. That dog is a whore. There is nothing else I can call my dog. He is just a girl chasing chick magnet. I mean, he chases after women. I swear to God. I don't know why somebody hasn't. Yeah, he was a dear friend of ours, and he was a young guy. He was young and gorgeous, and you can look him up. They have George is quite a little rock star legend in his own right, but George, my dog, is a total tramp. He's like a total tramp. I mean, there's just nothing else I can say about him. He gets right in front of women, like especially with me. If I'm wearing a sundress in the house, he'll get his big white fluffy tail. He gets right in front of me, gets his tail up under my dress, and then wags his tail and throws my dress everywhere. He's such a pig, I swear. He's got no manners whatsoever. but he's so damn pretty. Everybody just, lets him get away with it, whatever God. He really is. You want to see a picture of him? I'll show you a picture of George. No, Fiona, she's pretty too. But Fiona she's more like the cop dog. You know what I mean? She is beautiful, but he's like the He-Man. I'll try to show this. Sometimes the phone really glares it out. That's George. That's me and George, and he's being a problem child. And you know what? Oddly enough, reason why we got the picture, he's staring at a chick. Such a whore, I swear, that dog. And I tell my son all the time. He's like, there's no cute girls around here, I mean, I haven't met a nice girl in a while, and I'm like, just take George out. And sure enough, this cute girl came lollying through the neighborhood. I guess she was visiting relatives or something. And I said, go walk the dog for me. I know, he's my little polar bear. I have 2 Great Pyrenees. And then Fiona is like the cop dog. I'll show you Fee. Fiona, I'm pretty sure, only speaks French. I don't think she speaks English. I really don't. I think my dog is challenged in her language. Here she is with an empty bowl in front of her face, like, yeah, I ate it. What are you going to do about it? But George is like, I mean, if you ever wonder what your animals would sound like if they had like actual human voices? Because George is definitely a guy on the take. He is. He's a hustler. And I can't do anything about it because he is who he is. But, I'm going to go back in that sunflower a little bit. I want to get this little, where the seeds are? Kind of. Bear with me, people. I'm sorry, Brandy. I'm goofing around now. I'm trying to get some detail in this, and I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I never know what I'm doing. I never do. But anyway, so back to the original story that I was telling. I'm so ADD today. Oh, girl, I'm telling you, there's just not enough coffee in this house. And coffee actually calms me down more than it jacks me up. But anyway, back to the story about my sunfish boat. I took the boat out one day. I only had it for, I didn't know anything about 5 or 6 months. I was getting really confident with it. When you're 7 and people tell you you can, you do. You just do stuff. You don't care. And at the time, I had my Rottweiler, this little puppy, who I rescued from school and almost got kicked out of Catholic school because I broke a boy's nose. I was 5 years old. I was like a degenerate. My father had to come and get me in the patrol car. It was embarrassing. But, Daddy let me keep the dog. And the puppy grew up to be this massive Rottweiler. He was huge. And he was beautiful. Such a good dog. And I put him in my boat. And we would go off and have adventures. And I would always make, I would have a container of water, like a Kool-Aid container. And I would have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I would have dog treats for Mr. Potts. And off we would go. And we would go all the time. He would say, you stay away from the river. I don't want to hear about you. You can go up and down in the canals, but stay away from the river. And then one day, I don't know what happened. I just felt like going to the river. And there I was. You look on the, if you're not from New York, you can actually see, you can see how big the Hudson River is. It's huge, very wide, and it can have three different temperatures, three different kinds of water situations happening at one time. It just does all the time. So I got my little boat and we decided we were going to go to the river. And boy, we had so much fun. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking over and I'm not looking too far away, but I'm looking over in a direction and there's this big gray squalor coming through. A storm was coming. I mean, big gray. I'm in the middle of the Hudson River in an 8-foot boat with a 100-pound dog and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I'm on God's good humor. I really am. And so, sure enough, I got to get around her nose without making her look like she's got a drippy nose. How do you? Am I doing that right? How am I doing this? Anyway, the weather comes in, but it's not really around me. But you see, what I've got is I've got me an Irish mother. And an Irish mother, she don't have no tolerance for missing kids. And when the weather's coming in, the Irish mom kicks in and she says, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, which, by the way, I thought was my name until I was about 8 years old. My name was always Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. What has she done now? Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Where has that little rat gone? And my mother has 6 children she's trying to keep up with, okay? And every day with these kids is another adventure in Christ knows what the hell we're up to. I mean, every day we're up to something no good. So, I mean, we weren't rotten kids. It's not like we were the shameless family. Although there are days when I kind of wonder. But but our dad was a cop, so we weren't allowed to. Oh, excuse me, I wipe my nose. I have got the worst allergy. I have allergies in July. I don't even know why. So the Irish mom goes into panic mode and she calls my father. And dad is a cop in New York and he's, minding his own business, He's got the patrol car though. And he says, okay, well, what's happening? And it's that damn child of yours. And he's like, well, which one? Jesus, the one that you, and it was very clear, the one that you have given a boat to. What right have you got giving a boat to a child? She's a child. She didn't even have a bicycle yet. And she's got a boat. And she's gone off with the dog. She's taken Mr. Potts with her. And I have no idea what's going on. You must come home straight away. You've got to tend to this. And my father is like, tend to it? Oh my God. Like, uh-oh. Like, shit's going down. Okay? I don't know any other way to say it. But shit's going down. Okay, we're going to try this yellow now because we don't have enough shades of yellow in here. There's only like 8 million right now. But this is pretty. I like this. It's butterier. Don't you think? Kind of looks green on the screen. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, my father gets on the radio and he sends out what will be known in history. This is historic now. As the hello, this is Joseph so-and-so. I've got a kid missing. I'm going to need permission to take the car and go home. And so My father gets to the house, and there's already 5 police cars waiting for him. There's another 5 coming down the road, and there's 5 more behind that. Before you know it, the entire street, I mean the entire street, there is covered. Half of the New York Police Department is in my yard at my house. My mother is, making tea and coffee for everybody and trying to figure out, what's going on and trying to keep herself busy because they think it's a drowning. The boat is gone. I'm gone. The dog is gone. Massive storm comes rolling in. I mean, now you're scared because you're thinking, well, children are afraid of lightning and thunder and everything. But it never hit us. Me and the dog. It never hit us. We were just fine the whole time. The storm went right around us. But in the meantime, I had half of the city. My father had the Coast Guard. Everybody came looking for Joe's kid because Joe's kid was missing, and back then in our neighborhood, you could be out playing till 9 or 10 at night. When the street lights came on, you came in the house and everything was fine. Nobody had any reason to watch after anybody, because, everybody knew everybody's kids. Everybody knew everything about everybody. So they're all out on the back dock because we don't have a backyard. We have a back dock because their house is on the water. And if you're from New York and you're liking this, give me a thumbs up because you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, so, the storm passes. All these police officers are in my mother's house. They're asses to elbows, just cops everywhere. I mean, everywhere you look, they filled the house because it started pouring and they're like, well, we're not going to stand out here in the rain. What are we going to do? We'll just go in the house. And they're calling everybody. And wouldn't you know it, the weather passes. The whole thing didn't even last 15 minutes. It was like a really quick storm. Is she starting to look sunny to you guys? Does she look too yellowy? What do I need more like reddish something like? Anyway, Brandy, I think this is just us. Hi, Grace. Oh my God. I'm telling a story about my dad when he got me a boat, because I was only 7 years old and I had an 8-foot boat. I mean, who would let back, today we wouldn't even let a 7-year-old child swim alone, let alone get on a boat and just take it somewhere. But all this, Grace has arrived. Brandy, I'm just going to give Grace a quick update of what we've been yakking about because, she's my girl and I have to keep her informed of everything. Anyway, hi, honey. So we're talking about crayons at school and when you were little and, and this one girl at school had the 64 fancy Crayola crayons with the pencil sharpener in the box. And I had 8 basic colored crayons. And I kicked her butt, basically. We had a coloring contest with a Santa Claus. And with my 8 little crayons, I kicked her butt. So it just goes to show you that even with only 8 colors, you can make a world of beauty. So and anyway, and then the sunflower got me going on a story about me when I was little and I had a 100-pound dog and an 8-foot sailboat. So I took off into the Hudson River. And if you have ever seen pictures of New York, you know it's a pretty big river. And a storm came in, but we didn't get to, like the storm went around me. My father was a police officer in New York, and he had hundreds, literally, the whole street was covered with black and white police cars. He had every cop in New York looking for Joe's kid, you know, being me, Joe's kid. Joe's kid has gone missing. She's gone off with the dog. I set out for a little adventure with my peanut butter and jelly sandwich and my dog biscuits and water for the dog. And we went a traveling. We were on an adventure. So surely everything would be all right. Well, the storm passed. And it was only around like 15 minutes, but I must have just been somewhere where I just kind of got around it, because the weather, I mean, I was bone dry. It never hit us. My father, he's got the Coast Guard. The chief is there. People want to know, is she dead or alive? My sweet Irish mother, my mother, my mother who called me Jesus, Joseph, and Mary half my life, because I mean, she had 6 kids and I was just one of them. But I was the one who was always getting into some sort of, yeah, maybe a little bit of trouble. Nothing criminal, nothing dark, nothing mean. I just would always get these little wild-haired ideas on my head and decide I'm going to go traveling. Hi, George. Say hello to Grace. She's all the way in Aussie. Anyway, I pull up in the canal with my dog and my boat. And we don't look any worse for the wear. And all I see is an entire back dock. Now, in New York, when you live by the river, you have a back dock, not a backyard, because everything is built up on wood because you live on a canal. And pardon me, that toffee coffee is too delicious. I am doing all the most right now with that coffee. Anyway, so I pull up. George, can you not? Come here. This dog, I'm telling you, he hears a butterfly fart and it's all on. So I pulled up and I kid you not, there's so many cops there and they get me out of the boat. And my 6'6" father is like picking me up like I'm a rag doll, He's like, oh my God, where the hell have you been? Where did you go? Where did you go? And of course, I said, we went to the river. I know you told me not to go to the river, but it was such a nice day. And I had an adventure I had to go on. And the next thing I know, they're pulling the boat out of the water. They're getting my dog out of the boat. There's cops everywhere. They're all happy. They're cheering. And then all of a sudden, a bullet goes off in my backyard. Now, remember, I'm 7. Okay, this is my birthday present. This boat I could be the envy of everybody at school. Even though I only had the crappy little Crayola box with 8 colors, I was a girl with a boat. I was 7 years old and I had my own vehicle. I had a boat, So I was the envy of the whole block. Bullet goes off. I'm like, and everybody in the back dock goes silent. And my mother took my father's gun and shot up the boat. And then she started shooting it some more. She must have shot it 4 or 5 times before they finally said, let's take that. My tiny little 4'11" mother and my 6'6" father, and he can't even reach her because she's killing the boat. And so one of the police officers grabs the gun. He says, I think that's enough, Miss Lillian. And Miss Lily, my mother, ooh, she got pissed. She was so freaking mad. She said, okay, now that's over. I'm crying because I'm thinking, the dog is wincing. He's the 100-pound scaredy dog is like freaking out. I'm thinking, what did I do? I don't even know I did anything wrong. And the boat is dead. She says, that won't be happening anymore now, will it? We've done with this now. We've got her all sorted today. So on we go. Do you gentlemen want some coffee? And they took off running out of there like, oh, something tells me things are going to be rowdy at this Irish house. And she looked at my father. She got up the stairs because it was a back patio, like with a second story. Um, And so she went up the stairs and she turned around and she was very beautiful. My mother, she looked like a tiny little Marilyn Monroe. I'm going to get a picture of her and show her to you because she was so beautiful. She had the blonde flip hair and people would stop her all the time and ask her if she was a movie star. You know, I mean, she was just beautiful. Anyway, he turned around and she pointed down at him and she said, I'm going to need to have a little chat with you now. Yeah, we're going to have a very, very long, serious talk. Do you understand me? Do you understand me, Mr. Policeman? And she went in the house and they all looked at my father and they just were like, you're on your own. And they were like, oh God. And one of the guys, he gave back his police weapon and he said, I don't know if I should give this to you. I'm a little worried. And he's like, what do you think I'm going to do? I would never hurt my wife. Give me that. And he goes, I'm worried about her hurting you. I mean, if you don't show up for work tomorrow, we know where you are. You're dead in the canal. Bye, Joe. See you later, Joe. Everybody was like, bye, little Jody. And I mean, they were giving me hugs, and it was such a beautiful moment. And my boat was dead. And I didn't get another boat for a very, very long time. So that's a boat story. And I mean, it was just, it happened. I got a picture of it. You want to see a picture of me and my dog? They took a picture. Um, One of the police officers had a camera and he took a picture. I'm going to try to find the picture. It might take me just a minute because I have 8 zillion pictures. He took a photograph, because back then, cameras were kind of an extravagance. And he took a picture of, that's Amazon. What am I doing in Amazon? You go to the photo album. It'd be great if I were in the right department, right? Anyway, he took a picture of me with my dog on the boat coming in. And I mean, that picture, at first when I was little, it was just like, it's just a picture of me on the boat. And he was like, that picture came with a story. And I didn't realize it, but then I went, oh, hold on. Let me try to find it. It should just take a minute, guys. I won't be all day, I promise. But I do want to find it for you because I still love this story. Honey, how can I contact you? You can contact me at my email or you can contact me on Instagram. My Instagram is Big White Dogs 1, the number 1. And I have also, you can leave a message on YouTube. My email is, okay, Lucy's Mum, MUM, LUCYSMUM, the number 1 at Gmail. So I've got that too. I'm accessible. You can call me on the phone if you want to. My phone number's on my YouTube. I mean, I'm always around. What did I do? Am I in trouble? Did I do something wrong? I'm afraid to ask. What happened? Anyway, yeah, that little picture of me and my dog. I think maybe I don't know where to find. You know, do you ever feel like you're fumbling through shoe boxes to find pictures in your phone? I mean, I think they're all organized and they're not. It's like a big fat shoebox. Everything is like lost in space. It's awful. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'll have to find it. You know what? Chuka, chuka, chuka. I'm really close to. I think I'm really like right about there. But yeah, I think I may have it. Hang on a minute. Because it did happen about 100 years ago. And I was ever so much younger back then. But it's not, it's like right here somewhere. Oh, there's my crew. That's my little firefighter crew. Yeah, I was a volunteer for too many years. I'm not really sure where it's at. I'm gonna find it later because I'll spend half an hour in that rabbit hole that I'll never get out of. But oh, thank you. I hope I'm not in trouble, Grace. What did I do now? But anyway, Daddy got verbally got his ass kicked. He verbally just got his ass kicked. That's all there was to it. And then I lost my boat. But I think that's going to be probably all for today's story because that boat story was a. Ooh, I still remember my father's whole insides shrieking and shrugging inside. It's like it was shrinking inside his body when I was holding his hand and I looked up at him and she was just looking down at my father saying, I'm going to need to be having a talk with you right now. You're in big trouble. Anyway, I thought she was going to aqua Toprana him. She was scary. 4'11" of pure Irish meanness. Meanness. I mean, really. But I just loved her. I have loved visiting with you guys today. And Grace, contact me, leave me your information or on a DM on the Instagram if you want it to be private, and I will be glad to DM you back, or you can email me. I really want to know what you're up to. What did I do now? What did I do? Anyway, so that is my sunflower sunfish story. And the reason that the sunflower girl evoked the whole story in me today was because it was a canary yellow boat. And it was so, I am so mad. I don't know what I'm going to do about finding this picture. Now, my husband could find this, long suffering husband, he could find this in 2 seconds. You know? But me, oh, forget it. I'm all over the place and I got no no way of, oh Lord. All right. Well, now we have the fire department driving by, and George thinks he's a part of this. So I'm going to let you go. Hey, Big Mouth, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Georgie, Porgy, Putty Pie. Putty Pie. Come to the mama. He's so rude, you guys. He's such a little womanizer. I swear to God. He thinks he can just get away with everything. Come here. Come here, you little girl chasing mongrel. Anyway, everybody have a good day. Everybody take care of each other. I love it. I just did. You've been messaged, my love. Oh, thank you, Grace. I love you. And Brandy, it was so wonderful to chat with you. I know this is kind of a little off time. I just did sort of an impromptu pop in. I'm going to do more lives and I'm going to do more face to face, even though I don't know why anybody wants to see my face. But I will get her done the next time that we get together and stream. And in the meantime, look at the way that pearl stuff. See, I think it's going to be beautiful when it has sort of like a pearl finish. It looks waxy, but it's really shiny in person. Um, Anyway, I will see you all soon. Please keep shining on. Thank you for joining me for the chat. And if you would like to, I would love a thumbs up, but I'm not going to beg, but I could beg. I could beg a little. I could beg a little. Anyway, um, have a great day. I'm going to try to get in the pool, but it is going to be like 110 Satan's waiting room degrees here today. It may be too hot to even get in the water. I don't know. It might be boiling. I don't know what's happening out there. It's just we're in the middle of a horrible heat wave. Um, and I do want to, before I leave, send out a quick lovey message to all my UK friends. You guys are having some torrential, horrible weather. I want to send big hugs. Stay safe. Keep in contact with me. Let me know what's going on. I love you all. Shine, shine, shine. Keep shining on, everybody. Shine on. Bye.